Hi, this is Glenda. Finally getting around to making a video. I have been making thread pictures. A lovely lady gave me a whole lot of patterns and I've been working my way through some of them. This is what I started with, was the swans, and I've done it twice, and I did a couple of patterns. This one took quite a while. One of the last ones I did was the butterfly, and what didn't do very well on that, and also I don't know if you can see the little mouse, but I didn't do quite as well on that either, and I didn't choose colours as well as I should have. I had a go at this one, and this one is something I've enjoyed doing for a while, and that's Spirelli. So the others are needle and thread through the paper. This is just wind around, and I'll show that. It's actually the centre one is the needle and thread, and the outside one is the Spirelli. So on this sample, I've done the thread inside and the Spirelli on the outside. And one thing you can see on the back is the Spirelli uses a lot more thread. The needle and thread one, you're going through and it's sort of in a running stitch on the back, whereas the Spirelli you've got to use a whole round of thread. I don't know if that makes any sense. So anyway, I thought, how can I make this other than just a show and tell of what I've been doing? So I've sort of come up with a basic card that I thought I could show you. So if you've never done needle and thread, this is an easy way you can do with stuff you've already got at home. So I shall try and show that. So I'll leave that one there. That was my first attempt, and I haven't got it quite right. Anyway, the easiest way to do this, because I can't give you the patterns that I was given because they're not mine to give. There are several sites on the web that can give you free patterns. One of the sites that gives some away is called Formaline's, and if you do a Google search on thread pictures, pin pictures, stitching pictures with card in it, you'll come up with a number of things, and most of them sell them as well, so that you can get some basic ones for free and give it a go, and then spend a few pounds. They're usually English sites if you want to actually get a more interesting pattern. So all I'm going to do is do an L shape here and another one on the other side. I haven't got it exactly what you would call even. We're going to rub this out anyway, so I might just see if I can straighten that up a bit. Ideally you don't make a mess of it like this. And then we just want some lines underneath. And I think these look better if they were a bit closer together. One more. And you just want some foam to prick the card. You can just freehand it if you want to, or you can use a ruler with holes in it. The Tim Holtz ruler has suitable holes. So on this one I'm going to do every hole. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, do 10, and then we're going to go on the vertical the same, except we're going to skip every second hole. So if I've got 10 going there, I'm going to do the 0 is the first one, skip one, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, so that these ones are further apart. And then we're going to do the same thing on the horizontal here, if I can get it straight. And we're going to go, actually I want to move it across a bit, I don't want the gap that wide. Okay, so if we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That way our sails, I hope that was obvious that was a sailing boat. And then going up. Again, we're going to skip 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. And then for the angle here, I'm just going to eyeball it, and we're just going to go down on every line we drew there on an angle. Actually, that's probably enough. Okay, so I hope that's obvious. We'll just erase all our lines before we start. This one. So I've got some silver thread. You can use any thread you like. I quite like the metallics. Just take off a chunk. You can always join in another bit if it's not the right length. If I can find my needle. These thread pictures have been around forever. It's sort of one of these things you can come back to every so often. So on the wrong side, we're just going to use some sticky tape and fasten it anywhere that isn't going to interfere with your holes. And then we're going to come up on the end hole like that. Doesn't matter which side you start on. So you're going to go from the end one across to here, like that, and then on the back you're coming up to the next hole, like that. Then you come across to the next hole here, and again you're just doing a running one to the next one. So you can see this only uses half the thread. You just keep doing that all the way. I found a medium weight card was best. Too thin and it tended to buckle, too thick and it was a bit hard to work. So like Goldilocks, you want something that's sort of in between. Well, no, Goldilocks wanted the small one, didn't you? No, forget Goldilocks. We're just going back and forth. So the front one always goes right across. Oops, I've unthreaded my needle because that's what I tend to do. Going back up. To the top. And down to the bottom. And there's the first sail done. I'm going to finish my thread off because I don't have enough to do another whole sail, so may as well finish it off there. Get another length of thread. Ooh, getting tangled. my thread has two ends. That's never a good sign. I'm actually using up some of my thread doing this. I've had this thread for ages. So join that back in. So we're going to start on the end of the other sail from the back, going to the front. Do exactly the same thing. Across to the vertical and then up. That. And then I think on both of them I did a line across. Let's see, we'll go this way. So I'm going to do a line across the holes here, and then up through there and down again, so that I've got a stitch row across the lines there. Finish that off. I was going to make my boat bottom in blue, and I think because this is fairly fine I used a double thickness. I'm just going to stick both, if I can get them, both threads on the back. So this time my thread's double. And it doesn't matter where you start, but this one is just a straight stitch across. And then up the next stitch along for the back, trying not to catch it on the corner, and across, and coming up the little one next to it, hoping it doesn't get in a tangle. And we just finish that off again at the back. So if you have a simple design, these are really quite quick to do. Oh, I'll just leave that threaded. Okay, so there's the boat. So then with Spirelli, which is what I've done for the sun, probably show you this one, because this was a very tiny pattern to do and I actually got lost. But for Spirelli you can use any shape that's got you know, the edges to catch your thread in, so you know, scalloped circles and I forget what they call these zigzaggy ones, ovals, anything like that, and it's so simple. So I thought I'll try a yellow one this time. Some gold thread, This time you leave it on the roll. On the back, we sticky tape it the same. And then you're going to go from one scallop across. Now, if you go across like that, you'll end up with a smaller hole in the middle. If you come across less scallops, you'll end up with a bigger hole. I want a fairly small one for this, so you're going to go across and back up, left of the one that you just did, right of the next one. Come back up to the left of that one and the right of that, unless you're left-handed, and then you'll probably work the other way. But basically you're just going to the next scallop every time. You go all around, and you actually go around twice to get it all done. So that was rude. My battery went flat in the middle of my Spirelli. So trying to pick up where I left off. Okay, so I'm at the top and I'm coming down to the next one. See, now we were going back over. One wrong there, that's the camera's fault. Yeah, I got two of them, I've still got one there. Oh look, it's close enough. Camera going in the middle of it, fucking up. But basically you should have two threads around each scallop. And I think I've run amok somewhere. So anyway, when you're not filming it and your camera doesn't go flat, that's how they... See, this one is how they should turn out. As I say, this one, if you're doing the thread, you're going, as in we did with these, you're going into the next stitch each time, so you're not wasting all the thread. But you can mix and match. You can do a Spirelli with a little centre and then another one on the top of it with a bigger centre. In different colours and all sorts of things, which is quite fun. And then for my waves, all I did was take some green vellum and this old ruler that tears an edge, which I haven't used for a very long time, and I wrapped that around, stuck it down, and then just added a sticker and a penguin, and the birds are just little tick birds. So all I did was literally a tick. And you've got your little bird. And you've got a little card. So you could make it a Father's Day or something without the penguins and all, or whatever. So that was my thing that I thought I could share, and I've had fun using these patterns. See, there's the Spirelli with 2 layers. No, that was the thread one again, wasn't it? I'm lying. Yeah, the swans are one of my favourites, and I like the patterns too. They're very dramatic. So that's my share, and hopefully it won't be quite as long a gap till the next video. Oh, what I did forget to say, when you've done now I've got a mess, haven't I? When you've done it, take your bone folder and on the back just rub in all your little pinholes, and they will vanish quite a bit, and it'll look much more finished. So don't forget to do that, because I didn't find that written down anywhere. I think most people did much finer pin pricks than I did. I'm a lazy crafter. But this is an oldie but a goodie, so thanks for watching.